Cory was a thin man of average height, with dark eyes and smooth black hair. He commonly wore dark, flowing coats and cloaks, and unlike the rest of his friends that came from home, Cory's realm of origin was actually Zendo. Quite a long time ago, Cory had made quite a name for himself as an underground bounty hunter of sorts. Most bounty hunters don't have a clear goal in mind for their work, simply taking their life job by job. Not Cory, though. Cory had a bigger goal in mind. At the time Cory was working in the shadows of Zendo, there was a large syndicated organization installed in the structures of Zendo, mainly comprised of a species of a hybrid between the average Zendian people and a gelatinous species of creatures. This organization, led by an elite of the hybrids named Impera, was ruthless in their goals of becoming the most prosperous group on Zendo, by any means necessary. In the wake of their efforts, Impera's empire left families torn apart, whether they've lost everything they had, or even their own lives. It didn't matter much to Impera how she amassed her wealth and power, just as long as it kept increasing. In fact, if her empire had been left unchecked, Impera would have achieved eternal prosperity, leaving the rest of the realm begging for whatever scraps she deemed willing to throw their way. Thankfully, Cory had taken it upon himself to do what he could to deter Impera and her empire. He started small, taking out an operative base here and there, but eventually he and Maddie B, whose father fell victim to Impera and her clutches, successfully destroyed Impera, and by extension shattered her empire. The members that survived who were still loyal to Impera and her goal did everything they could to find Cory, in the hopes of making him pay for thwarting their leader's plans, and as such Cory was forced to go into hiding. In his efforts to escape the grasp of Impera's followers, Cory found himself slipping between realms, eventually landing at home, where he found and befriended Jimmy. He lived the next several months fairly happily, enjoying the company of Jimmy, Billy, and Schnickelfritz, up until Herr Sturm called for help, which led into the massacre. When he regained his consciousness after the gauntlet brought him back to life, Cory found it odd he was back on Zendo, but he had no time to waste. He had to find a safe place before Impera's followers found him again. His journey led him to the Derevo district, a city of treehouses built atop of the Plotny forest. At least there, if any of Impera's followers found him, Cory figured, he would at least be able to see them coming. In the following months, Cory found sneaky, yet fairly harmless ways to occupy his time. He would challenge his skills in stealth and dexterity to steal hard-to-reach items all over the realm, then return them to where they belonged within a couple days. Except for one item, a glowing purple stone he found while sneaking around an old and abandoned house on the outskirts of the Derevo district. Upon picking up the stone, he felt a gust of air gently, yet powerfully circle him. Instinctively, he pocketed the stone and took it home. After he found the stone, Cory found his sneakiness would increase tenfold, at some points even becoming invisible to the untrained eye. Cory also found he could manipulate the air to his will, gaining the ability to slightly hover and blow gusts of wind wherever he pleased. He would mostly use this to pull pranks on anyone unfortunate enough to cross his path on Zendo, and he had the potential of becoming the greatest thief in Zendian history, if it weren't for what happened on one fateful day. On that day, in the middle of the morning, as Cory was gliding around from his house to a neighbor's, he suddenly fell right out of the air. Upon attempting to use the wind to pick himself back up, Cory found that the abilities the stone gave him weren't working properly. When he went back to check on the stone, he found it was missing from the small box he kept it in beside his bed, and the window of his bedroom was broken. When he looked out of what was left of the window, he saw a purple creature topple slightly midair, then fly north towards the waters of the Vedni district.